congratulations. And I want to know, let's start with the easy part. Understand you grew up in Hungary. And for those of us who were born here, what was that like?
I love growing up in Hungary. Like, it's a very small country. Fun fact that I just found out when I moved here, that it's like just California itself is 4 times bigger than Hungary, which is crazy because California is a state, Hungary is a country. So now I have a completely different perception of distance, because I used to think like 1 hour or 2 hours in the car was long, but here it literally takes at least that amount of time to even just get out of Northridge. I started playing sports pretty early on. My parents actually took me to swim, to like baby swimming when I was 3 months old. And then when I turned around like 4, I started competitive swimming until I was 9, and then I started playing water polo. So sport was always a very essential and like time-consuming part of my life, and just water as well. Like I was very fortunate. We traveled a lot within Europe with my family. One of my favorite places is Croatia, so we went there a lot of times. And I just love being in the sea, scuba diving, tanning, just being near the water. I have 2 siblings, a younger sister and an older brother, and my 2 parents. So we did travel a lot together, and I'm very close to them. So yeah, I had so much fun growing up in Hungary. Like, there are so many things to do there. There are so many lakes, hiking places, and it's beautiful. So whoever wants to visit,
How did you end up at CSUN?
It's all thanks to water polo, because I play here at CSUN's water polo team. And so some of my former teammates came out here to play during summer month for like 2 months. And me and 2 of my friends were like, oh, we should also try this, because it just sounds so much fun. Like, obviously everyone who's in Europe just like wants to experience what it's like to be in the US. So the original plan was for us just to come out with the help of water polo, play here for 2 months in different tournaments during those 2 months, and just discover the culture a little bit, travel around California. But I ended up being offered a scholarship to play here. So that was in 2019, summer, right before the senior year of my high school. And then I decided to come and play here for 4 years.
You came in the middle of the pandemic. How did that figure out? I mean, it's got to be hard.
I was devastated, because I did start school in 2020. But I only came out here like in person 2022 January. So I did 3 semesters at home, which was a lot with the 9-hour time difference.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, because I was still playing at my former club, which meant that I had to get up to commute to the capital city around like 5:30 a.m. and I only got back at home at like 10 p.m. But that's when my classes started because of the time difference. So I had to stay up until like 1 a.m. and then repeat it. So that was like, till to this day, sometimes I don't know I had the energy to do that.
I'm still trying to figure, how did you?
Because I had morning practices, afternoon practices, school, homework assignments. So I don't know, I just grind through it, and honestly it was worth it, because when I finally got here, like this whole last 3-4 years was just such a blessing and such a fun time that I would do it again.
How did you find, as someone for whom English is a second language, how did you find adjusting to classroom and a classwork?
In Hungary, you have to start learning English pretty early on. They start teaching you in elementary school. I also took private lessons, and obviously my English is still not the greatest, but when I know like it improved a lot since I came here. Like I can hear the difference, but my accent just doesn't go away. It's still so strong, and everyone likes it. I do not like having an accent, or I'm just surprised that it just didn't go away throughout the years. But thankfully, I had the fundamentals, and I also took Russian lessons when I went to high school. So compared to that, English is such an easy language, to be honest. Yeah, the grammatical parts of Russian is very complicated, and Hungarian language apparently is also very complicated, like if you start from scratch. So English is, I mean, the grammatical parts are like quite easy compared to that.
In that January, you're now in California. What is the first thing that hits you? I mean, you're not here for 2 months. You're here.
Yeah, so I basically traveled from winter to summer. So I was like, wow, this is really nice. It's sunny outside. It's warm. I'm in California. So yeah, that was my first impression. And then we started practicing right away with my team. So that also helped that I basically had built-in friends right away within my team. And yeah, I think that was the first thing.
Tell me about water polo. Now, I watch water polo, I have cousins who played water polo, but for those people who are not familiar with water polo, tell them about the sport and how it's played, because you're powerful and strong.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a very fun sport, especially when like you got to see and you like know a little bit more about like what's happening. I think I could explain it like it's very similar to basketball, but obviously instead of the baskets, we have goals with goalkeepers. But there are 7 players for like one team, like 6 field players and a goalie. But the structure itself, it's pretty much like basketball, that there are like the outside people and there's one person in the center, and you're like trying to either play the middle person or someone from the outside shoot. Like this is a very basic explanation I can give. Obviously, there's a lot more going into it. But just to like have a basic idea, I would describe it like this.
Why did you choose? I mean, you've been swimming your whole life. Why did you choose water polo?
In Hungary, water sports are really popular. So swimming and water polo, kayak canoe, these are like one of the most famous sports at home, alongside with soccer. But I really enjoyed swimming, but after a while it got a little bit boring, and I didn't really want to do back-to-back my whole life. And my hometown just opened a water polo club 2 years prior to me like starting it, and my brother went to play and he really liked it. And when I was at the point when I got bored, their coaches were like, oh, you should just like come down and try. And I went down. I was like, wow, this is like much more exciting already than swimming. So I just switched and stick with it for the rest of my years. Yeah.
Let's move you back to California and CSUN. What's it like playing at the college level?
The whole system is very different from home. Like at home, we don't have high school teams. We just have club teams. So basically, at home, I was playing for my age group and for the senior team as well. And I started playing with the senior team when I was around 16 years old. But usually when you're 18, the only level you can play is with the seniors. So that means that I actually had teammates who were actively going to World Championship, Olympics. They were older girls, so the age range was quite wide in my club. So that means I played at a very high level, and my club was the best in Hungary. So the fundamentals that I got from there are amazing, and I'm still obviously using them and building it to my advantage. The biggest difference I would say here is water polo is much more sensitive. So at home it was even more physical than what you would see in here. You would get away with much more like kicking and dragging each other. So here I had to adjust to not be that aggressive because they kept like kicking me out. Like you have basically 3 lives in water polo. Like if you're overly aggressive, they like kick you out. So I really had to adjust to not be kicked out early on the game.
You must have learned because you were All-American 3 times.
Yes, the adjustment went pretty quickly because I remembered from 2019 when we first came that it was a little bit more sensitive. But obviously after that I still played home and then I came back here. But it has been so much fun. To be honest, at my former club, like I was starting to feel really burnt out and didn't really feel that passion for my sport. Like compared to when I started playing. And here I was able to gain that love back. So that just means so much to me that I'm able to end my water polo career in such a nice way.
Now, what's it like? You have set records at the university. You made All-American in all 3 years that you played, because you couldn't play that first year because of the pandemic. I mean, you set school record goals.
Yeah.
How did you do all that?
As I said, like, shout out to my coaches in Hungary because they just act with me such good fundamentals that it was really easy to build on that in these past couple of years. But yeah, these are obvious. Like, I felt really good when I received these awards because I think generally in Europe it wasn't that like popular yet to like pay attention to such statistics. It's getting there because I see obviously the different clubs posting, but I was surprised like how much people pay attention to records and like different personal achievements and not just team achievement.
What about the Coutinho watch list? I mean, my God. It's a pity water polo ends in college.
Yeah, I was so surprised because we had practice and right when we finished and we got out, my coach was like, "Oh, did you check your phone?" I was like, "Coach, I just got out of the water." Like, no, I didn't. And then he showed me and I was like, "Oh, that's so good. That it felt very good. Like, it's nice, yeah."
Why financial analysis and marketing?
I'm a very, very analytical person. So I actually do enjoy just looking at numbers and trying to find patterns and make like decisions based on them or like trying to find like what they mean and how you can implement that to help like a business. But when I had to choose a major, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. But I actually really did enjoy my classes throughout these past 4 years. And with marketing, so I didn't know this when I started school that I could have done my bachelor degree in 3 years. And then because of COVID, I would have had another year of eligibility, so I could have done my master's degree. But I did not know that, so that's why I did the double major instead because I still like had time for that. And for like prerequisite classes, I had to take marketing, and I just found it a little bit refreshing and more creative, obviously, than financial analysis. So I just wanted to have a little bit different things like an analytical and a creative side because I think I do have both. So it was just very interesting studying these two like really important part of businesses because you have a much wider point of view which department is important for what reason and how they work together.
What do you want to do with your degree?
I still have to figure that out because the first thing I should figure out like which country I want to live in because I wanted to stay here when I started to college. Like I had plans to stay here at least for a couple of years, but now that that graduation is coming up and I've been thinking more about where I can envision myself. I realized that I do miss being home. I'm very far from my family. It's a 15-hour plane ride, so I usually only go home for like summer break and winter break. But I just sometimes feel sad that I miss out on my family's daily basis life, and my friends are far away too. So now I'm more thinking of moving back to Hungary, or if not in Hungary, at least to be in Europe and closer to all of these people, because I'm ready to go back. I feel like so. My short-term goal, I mean, yeah, just to go home and figure out from there and apply to jobs in Hungary and in different European countries, and we'll go from there.
Well, if it's anywhere else in Europe, it's only a couple-hour train ride.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Compared to the US, it's like nothing.
What are some of your most favorite memories at CSUN?
Oh, I have so many. I made so many good friends. I'm going to miss this place so much. I really hope that so many other students here have similar experiences as me, because this, as I mentioned before, these past 4 years was just such a blessing. And every day when I wake up and think about it, I'm just so grateful that I got this opportunity from life. We also really fortunate because we're at the same conference as Hawaii. So we got to go to Hawaii 3 times, which was amazing because when I was growing up, I would have never thought that somehow my life path's going to take me to Hawaii. Obviously, I think it's in everyone's bucket list. And when we went with the team, we were able to go on sunrise surf, and also we went on a boat ride and we were scuba diving, so I got to swim next to a turtle. And just being with the team, going on road games, being on the bus with them, just such a fun atmosphere. I also got a lot of outside of team friends. So me and my roommate, she's also from Hungary, she's my best friend. We built such a really cute friend group, and we do hang out with them a lot to go to beach days, karaoke nights, so just all the fun things.
Now, Matt mentioned something that you also volunteer your time?
Yes, we had at home, I used to go to dog shelters to walk dogs. They're so grateful. I love dogs. Also with the team, every fall semester when we're not in season, we're going to elementary school kids and read to them. We also go coaching little girls, because for them it means so much that you show up, go in the water with them to show them what to do. That's a good motivation for them. I also like donating blood, every couple of months.
Why is that important to you, this giving part?
I'm a very empathic person, and I would like to have a good impact on life, even if it's just small things or just a word of kindness. Really small gestures, I believe, can go a long way. Even just in my example, when someone compliments me or does a favor for me without me asking, because they paid attention and they knew I need help, they can change my mood for the day. Or just the example for my coach, I don't think, like I told him, but I still don't think that he knows what an impact of him recruiting me, like he did on my life. Like I genuinely don't think he understands the depth of it, like how grateful I am.
What would you like to tell him? We'll make sure he listens.
That I just hope when like he has a bad day or that he knows that he changed someone's lives.
What's his name?
Matt Warshaw. Yeah.
What are you going to miss the most when you go back home?
My friends, for sure. I really like this college life, let's say that. Like, my friends do come over a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We have an apartment very close to the campus, and it's quite big, so we do hang out there a lot. People are just coming in and out, and just so much fun to be surrounded by people basically all the time. Like people just text or call like, oh, what are you doing right now? Are you free? Can we come over? Just those moments that I know that when I go home, I'm not going to be surrounded by people 24/7 like I am right now.
I take it, though, you will have extended an invitation to your teammates to come visit you.
Oh, yeah, I keep telling everyone that if they have to choose a European country, just come here. I'm going to show them around, have a good time.
Okay, we're 10 years down the road. You're a CSUN alum. You're a Matador for life.
Yes.
What advice would you give for a young athlete, a young female athlete following your footsteps at CSUN?
Trying to be present and take things day by day, because I'm a big overthinker, so I tend to stress about things that are so far down the road and it's not even worth to stress about them. And I wish I could have stayed more in the present a couple of times instead of worrying about the future, and just also find the good things in every day. Like I have a journal, and I'm gonna be honest, like I'm not doing it every day. I used to do it every day to like write down a couple of things that I was grateful for during that day. But obviously, as I'm like getting busier and busier, sometimes I forget. But I do remind myself sometimes during the day to just stop and appreciate things.
You got me thinking, what are you grateful for from your time here at CSUN?
But first of all the people that I met, and the things that I learned from them. Also just the warmth that like basically the whole campus welcomed me with. Literally everyone that I met has been so kind to me, so supportive, which is like one of the number one thing I'm grateful for, because I think it's generally more true for Americans to like pay attention to each other and like try to be kinder, even to strangers. So for that, for sure. Also, as I mentioned, gaining back my love for water polo, I can thank that for CSUN as well. Being able to live in California, it's pretty amazing. Go to the beach, it's beautiful.
Thank you, Dodi. I thank you so much for doing this. It is a pleasure to meet you. I wish I'd met you sooner. You're just so much fun to talk to.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate for having me.